The price of XRP has started to rise. In the next 48 hours, the market will open up and between $300 and $600 trillion will move straight into the XRP ledger. It will happen right away. Right away, we'll start to see volume soar, which will cause an XRP rise. In fact, look at what we have in front of you right now. This is a past example of how XRP went from $25 to $39. The same thing happened on October 26th, 2024, when we were talking about it. It was worth about 50 cents and then went through the roof, reaching $327. And this is really just the beginning of the huge surge we're talking about. This time, things are going to be very different. This time, trillions of dollars will be added to the XP record, and the price could go as high as $27.58 because there aren't many coins available. Because of this, we talked about how there are platforms in South Korea that are selling and buying XRP right now at $50.17 in yesterday's video. Around those parts of the world, one XRP is worth 50 US dollars. XRP is only worth about $2.15 in the US and Canada, but it's worth $220 now. We also talked about how this is because so many people have adopted it. For example, all of South Korea's financial institutions accept XRP as payment. This creates a huge demand for XRP, and since they don't have a lot of it, the price per XRP has to go up. This is similar to how the value of a currency goes up when there is a huge demand but not enough supply. The same thing happened in South Korea, and it's starting to happen in Japan too, where all of their banks are moving to using XRP. XRP will be used by all banks in Japan by the end of 2025, according to SBI Shares, the biggest company in Japan that owns most of the banks there. That's in less than 30 days. Also, what does that really do? Well, it's going to cause something similar to what is actually happening right now in South Korea, which is you're going to have a huge demand, not enough supply, and so the price per XRP will surge. You'll also learn that the price of one XRP may be $50 or $30 in Japan, but it stays at $2.20 in the US. This could change in the next 48 hours though. It's about a huge market opening of more than $654 trillion, which could lead to something like what's happening in Japan and South Korea right now. The reason for this is that the real estate market, the market for real-world assets, and the payment rewards market will all start putting money into the XRP system in the next 48 days. And that's all the information you can find. It takes a lot of work, but this is free for everyone to use. So just think about how much XRP will be worth in 48 hours because of this. So we want to make it clear, if you own any XRP, even just one, you need to watch this video all the way through because we're going to share information you haven't heard before. You will also learn that if you own XRP in the next 48 hours, it will be worth millions of dollars. And even though it sounds crazy, that's what an expert named East Money pointed out. In the future, 10 XRP will be worth $10 million, which means that each XRP will be worth $1 million. And no, I'm not crazy. But look at this for a second and try to understand what's being said. Really is a way to pay and praise people. There is a multi-million-dollar organization there that lets you buy real estate. They just recently said that they had built a project on the XRP ledger that uses only the XRP ledger. This means that you can now actually buy real estate. We're talking about business residential real estate worth several million dollars that can be paid for directly with the XRP ledger. In this case, it means that XRP is becoming widely used around the world, which is what the project's founders, like Earth Britu, stressed was important. 10 million to 10 billion people will have to use it for XP to reach the $10,000 price that was set for it. Let's take a moment to talk about the $654 trillion market that will start to happen in the next 48 hours. Now this is happening right now on the XRP ledger, and it's using a project on the XRP ledger called the Real token. The Real currency is now very bullish. Anyone who owns XRP should definitely have this in their bag along with their XRP because it's about to make a lot of people rich. In other words, these are real coins. It's based on the XRP system and can handle trillions of dollars. It solves a problem worth many trillions of dollars. and really every trade is burning XRP. For instance, if you use the real token, you will have to burn some of your XRP. This will make XRP less available and increase demand for the real token. It works out well for everyone. And basically, in the next 48 hours, the huge unlocking of the $650 trillion market will go straight into XRP, and then from XRP into real token, which will cause a supply shock for both. And while XRP may hit $40 or $50, a real token could reach over $60,000 from $3. And it sounds crazy, but pay close attention. It is very hard to get a real ticket because there are only about 1 billion of them. In other words, not all of the stock is in circulation. That is, I believe there are around 100 million in circulation at the moment. So just think about what would happen if 1% of the $650 trillion market actually bought real tokens. Since real tokens are very rare, there would be a huge supply shock that would make the price of a real token go from 3 cents to $65,000. Even though it seems crazy, this is the truth. And if you look at it right now, you can see the effect right away. In this case, if someone bought $10,000 worth of real token right now, the value of real token could go from 3 cents to up to $67. Let us say that someone buys a real $10,000 coin. The cost might go through the roof and reach tens of dollars. This means you'd make about 10 to 30 times that amount. Now picture that on a large scale. Let's say you're talking about 100,000 real token transactions every day. Then we don't know, the price of a real ticket would go through the roof and reach hundreds of dollars. What we're talking about now is a huge controlled exchange listing for real token on December 5th, which is in 48 hours. Picture that on a much bigger scale. That would make it possible for over $5 billion worth of transactions to happen every day within the real token, $580 million. Now, imagine $5 billion in daily trade volume entering the real token. It's clear that the real token's price could be in the tens of thousands or even thousands of dollars. There is no way around what is happening now. And it is also very, very different from anything else that has ever happened. There will never be something this crazy again that could make you hundreds or even thousands of dollars, where 3 cents could earn you $100,000 and $1,000 could earn you $1 million. It doesn't happen. This really did happen to Bitcoin when it was worth $1 and now it's worth $20,000. Now you have a one-of-a-kind chance that's exactly the same. For example, every real-world asset project that gets listed on a centralized exchange sees its market cap go up to something like $100 billion. That's tens of thousands of dollars per real token. So this is your chance to get as many as you can before the price goes through the roof. As December 5th gets closer, the price for real tokens will keep going up, and those who can get them now will get them at the lowest price they'll ever see it. The guys who can collect will be the ones who make the most money, since you want to buy low and hold on to it as long as possible. Once there is a real centralized market, the number will never drop below this one, because you're talking about being able to reach more than 40 million people and handling more than $5 billion every day. We've never seen these numbers before. At the moment, there are no real token transactions. It's only a couple $1,000s, which isn't much, but that's all going to change in 48 hours on December 5th, when there will be massive supply shocks and massive price increases. I'll leave all the information below, and all the links will be in the description.